How many of you guys have a credit card under your name? Good. Okay, so today I went to decided there's major problems concerning credit cards. As if individuals don't have enough problems as it is, they have to undertake the burden of having a low credit score due to credit cards. Credit card companies these days like to target young adults like ourselves that have no credit whatsoever. For instance, college students. We have a lot of things that we have to pay for to better education. As a former broke college student, I know the dangers of having a credit card. I constantly get phone calls from credit card companies demanding me to pay the fee. Being a student and all, I do try to keep up with the payments because I don't have a job, so I have to rely on my parents. Yeah. So, the dangers of credit cards are something that should not be taken lightly. This is your life, so therefore you should not gamble with your life. Today I'm going to talk about why it's dangerous to have a credit card. Secondly, I'm going to talk about how to prevent credit card debt, and then how identity theft can happen and fraud can happen by owning a credit card. First and foremost, I'm going to talk about the dangers of having a credit card. Credit cards are another method of increasing your credit card score. However, if an individual misses a payment on their credit card, their interest rate spikes up to an all-time high, thus making it harder for individuals to pay credit cards. Yeah. Okay, so in an article posted on bookmarkrate.com on September 15 by Peter Davidson, the author of Top 10 Hidden Dangers of Credit Cards, explains how the universal default penalties can be very dangerous because credit card issuers regularly check the customer's credit card reports for late payments on any other bills. Any late payment can be used as an excuse to trigger a hike in their credit card interest rate, even if you have never made a late payment to the card issuers. So regardless, if you don't pay your credit card on time, then your interest will spike up. So it's pretty important to keep up with your payments as possible as you can. So how does this happen, you ask? Well, the biggest danger of credit card is that interest rates that are charged on credit cards are extremely high. For example, I have a Wells Fargo's card. I got 9 months of 0.0 APR, which is average annual percentage rate. After the 9 months were up, it went up, like extremely up. So their credit card interest rates can vary from 10.15% to 24.99%. And another article posted on the dangers of credit card in 2007 by an author, and I quote, "This is a problem for a few reasons, most notably because it's very expensive. However, it can also get you in trouble because the amount that you owe can grow very quickly. This makes it very easy to find yourself in a position where you aren't able to keep up with your payments and your debt is growing faster than your ability to pay it off. When this happens, you are in a serious financial trouble." So you can see, this is some examples of the interest rates that just builds up. The other great danger of credit card debt is that it can completely destroy your credit very quickly. Miss a few payments and damage is done. Most people don't realize how important it is to have credit until it's too late, because not only will having poor credit make it difficult for you, but it also affect your ability to get a job, an apartment, or even the cost of insurance is really high because of your credit. Okay, now that I talked about the dangers of credit cards, I am now going to talk about how to prevent credit card debt. There are so many ways individuals can protect themselves from credit card debt. The most obvious ways are to know your limit. For instance, don't bite off too much. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Obviously, when taking a credit card, you want to make sure that you establish a budget and then follow through that budget exactly. In other words, don't charge a plasma TV into that credit card if you didn't budget it correctly. Before signing at the bottom of the line of a credit card contract, be aware of how high or how low your interest rate is. This is very dangerous because the amount you owe can grow very quickly. Going back to the Wells Fargo example, you have an APR of 0.00 in the beginning, but it will spike up really fast after those 6 months are done. Obviously, you can protect yourself too just by leaving your credit card at home, so you won't be tempted to like use it. That's really hard for me because I always use it. Anyways, now that we talked about how to prevent credit card debt, and now I'm going to talk about how fraud can happen. Identity theft can happen. Okay, so identity theft occurs when an individual gets a hold of a valuable piece of information of you, and then identity theft is a particular type of fraud in which a thief uses your personal information to set up new accounts or to get benefits under your name. Though this is not as common as regular fraud or identity theft, it can be very costly to like correct. Like I had an incident earlier this year where I opened a new debit card from Chase and I found out that someone was using my social security. Yeah, it was a really bad scare. I had to contact the authorities, get the phone, banks. It was a mess. But luckily I didn't have to pay anything because I was contacting the authorities and working with the bank to fix that. Some signs of identity theft are not receiving your bills on time, or getting phone calls or getting arrest warrants. Now that I talked about the dangers, the credit card debt, and what was that one? How to protect yourself from debt and fraud. Just sorry, I'm lost right now. Okay, it is. There it is. Just so make sure you just know how to keep a steady budget and have income flowing when you have a credit card. So yeah, thanks.